Welcome back. This channel exists because of your support. Subscribe, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's get into the story. 4:47 in the morning isn't when you expect to wake up to dresser drawers being yanked open. But there I was, pulled from sleep by the sound of someone ransacking my bedroom. I rolled over and saw Kelsey, my girlfriend of 6 years, stuffing clothes into 2 Louis Vuitton suitcases. She hadn't noticed I was awake. Her movements were sharp, purposeful. The bathroom light cast harsh shadows, and I could see she'd already cleared out her side of the medicine cabinet. Her yoga mat was missing from its corner. She'd been planning this. Little early for spring cleaning, isn't it? She froze, one of her cashmere sweaters in her fist. When she turned, her expression was annoyance, not guilt. I didn't want to have this conversation, she said flatly. I sat up. Well, here we are. What's going on? She zipped up the first suitcase. I need to find myself, Owen. I've been suffocating under your expectations. My expectations? Like contributing to rent? Or knowing where you are at 1 a.m.? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're so controlling. Always interrogating me. Asking questions isn't controlling. It's called being in a relationship. She straightened up. It's my life, Owen. I can leave whenever I want to. There it was. The declaration. She waited for tears, begging, the desperate please don't go. Instead, I got out of bed and walked to the nightstand. Pulled out her car key, the Audi Q5 I made payments on. Grabbed her loft key from her jewelry dish. The parking garage fob from her purse. I held them out to her. You're absolutely right. It is your life. Here. She stared at the keys. What are you doing? You want to leave. So leave. But when you walk out with these keys, you're making a choice. Your choice. She snatched them, but the victory felt hollow. Fine. Fine. She grabbed the suitcases. You're going to regret this. Maybe. Probably not, though. She paused in the doorway, waiting. I turned off the lamp. Lock the door on your way out. Suitcase wheels rolled across hardwood. The elevator dinged. I walked to the window and watched her car pull out of the garage below, taillights disappearing down Hennepin Avenue. Then silence. Different silence. Like possibility. I made coffee and watched the sun rise over the Mississippi. The loft felt bigger. Not emptier. Bigger. I started making calls as soon as businesses opened. 8 a.m., bank first. Removed her from checking and savings. She'd contributed $0 in 18 months. Her debit card would be declined by noon. Car insurance next, then the dealership. The Audi was mine. My name, my loan, my insurance. Filed unauthorized use notice. Set up repo if she didn't return it by Monday. Locksmith third. How soon can you change locks? 9 a.m. opening. Perfect. All of them. Then utilities. Changed Wi-Fi password, security codes, smart lock fingerprints. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify. All my accounts, all new passwords. I emailed my boss. Taking a personal day? Everything's fine, just handling some life admin. He wrote back within 5 minutes. Say no more. Take tomorrow too if you need it. He'd met Kelsey. He understood. Gary the locksmith arrived at 9. Late 50s, seen it all. Girlfriend or wife? He asked, noticing the expensive furniture. Does it matter? Nope. You're handling it better than most. He installed new deadbolts, changed locks, put in new keypads. When he finished, you own the place? Bought it before we met. She on any paperwork? Not even utilities. Then you're golden. Her old keys are paperweights now. He packed his tools. They always try to come back. These locks will hold. That's what I'm counting on. At 12:47, my phone buzzed. My card isn't working. What did you do? I stared at it for a minute, sipped coffee, then typed back. That was my account. You contributed $0. You wanted independence. Figure it out. Immediate call. I ignored it. Again. Ignored again. Text. You can't cut me off. That's financial abuse. Financial abuse is preventing access to your money. That was my money. You want money? Earn it. I have rights. We lived together 6 years. You had rights. Past tense. You abandoned them. Minnesota law calls it voluntary abandonment. I'm coming back to talk. No. Locks changed. You're not on any paperwork. Legally, you were a guest. She called. I answered. You can't lock me out of my home. Your home? Your name on paperwork? Your money on bills? That's not how relationships work. It's not a relationship. You ended it at 4:47 this morning. I never said it was over. You said it was your life. You left. That's called over. We need to talk like adults. Adults don't pack bags at dawn and expect everyone to deal with consequences. Where am I supposed to stay? Not my problem. You wanted independence. This is it. You're cruel. I'm clear. There's a difference. I hung up. I spent Tuesday afternoon reclaiming my space. Boxed up her throw pillows, motivational signs, manifestation journals. Stored them carefully in the building's storage unit. Removed her white slipcover from my leather couch. Brought out my books, my posters, my things. The loft transformed. Masculine. Comfortable. Mine. I ordered barbecue for dinner. Ate in the living room watching sports. Drank beer from the bottle. Left the newspaper out. All forbidden before. That night, I did the math. Mortgage, HOA, utilities, $34.20 a month. The second bedroom sat empty. Kelsey had used it for yoga maybe twice. Then I remembered Jillian from 2 floors down. Veterinary nurse. Recently divorced. Mentioned her temporary place was expensive. We'd chatted in the elevator. She seemed genuine. The loft was big enough. Separate bathrooms. She had a job. Worst case, find someone else. Best case, help with expenses and good company. Plus, it would drive Kelsey insane. Decision made. Wednesday morning, I caught Jillian in the lobby. Scrubs, coffee mug, tired but professional. Jillian, got a second? Are you still looking for a permanent place? God, yes. Month to month in Richfield. Expensive. Why? My ex moved out yesterday. I have a spare room, private bathroom. Need a roommate. She paused. Is that wise? You just broke up. She left. Packed bags, disappeared at dawn. I'm moving forward. When she comes back? She won't. Lock's changed. She's not on any paperwork. Can I see the room? Come by at 6. $800 a month, utilities included. 800? In the North Loop? I own it. Just offsetting costs. Rather have someone who appreciates being there. Kelsey's texts escalated throughout Wednesday. Nostalgia first. Remember Lake Minnetonka last summer? I miss Sunday coffee at Spy House. I deleted them. Then emotion. I've been crying all morning. My mom keeps asking what happened. Deleted. Then threats. I talked to a lawyer. What you're doing is illegal. I finally responded. Your belongings are in storage unit B17. Text a pickup time. Security will escort you. You won't enter the loft. That's my apartment. No, it never was. You lived as my guest. That's over. The car issue came next. Why did Audi call about returning the car? Because it's mine. My name, loan, insurance. Return it by Monday, or I report it stolen. You wouldn't dare. Try me. At 6:15, Jillian arrived. Changed to jeans and sweater, nervous but curious. I showed her around. The living area with river views. This is gorgeous, she said. She noticed my vinyl collection. You like jazz? My ex hated it. My ex said it made the place cluttered. In the kitchen, she ran her hand along the granite. This is a real kitchen. You cook. Love to. Haven't had space in months. The bedroom was 12 by 14. Window, closet, private bathroom. This is the spare room. It's bigger than my loft. My ex used it for yoga. Twice. Total. Can I ask? I have a cat. 12-year-old tabby, named Hemingway. Building allows pets. I'm fine with cats. When can I move in? This weekend. This is going to sound crazy, but yes. My lease is up anyway. You're not a rebound roommate. You're a solution. I need help with costs. You need a place. She extended her hand. You've got a roommate. As she left, thank you. You have no idea how much stress this solves. Thank you for not being dramatic. She laughed. Low bar, but I'll take it. Thursday, Kelsey appeared at the building. I watched on security cameras. She tried her old fob. Deactivated. Tried the intercom. I didn't answer. She sat in the lobby 45 minutes until security asked her to leave. Text. You had security kick me out? I had security do their job. You don't live here. I'm coming back tonight. I'm blocking this number. Email if you need to arrange pickup. Her email arrived at 5:43. Owen, I don't know what's gotten into you. This is cruel. I'll be by Friday at 6 p.m. to collect things and talk. K. My response. This isn't a discussion. Your belongings are in storage B17. Security will escort you 6 to 7 p.m. Friday. You will not access the loft. Return the car by 5 p.m. or I report it stolen. Not a negotiation. Owen. Saturday morning, Jillian moved in. 1 truckload. Her brother Tom helped, protective and cautious. You just met last week? Tom asked. We've been neighbors for months, Jillian said. She's been through a lot, Tom told me. My ex left Tuesday. I'm not looking for anything except a good roommate. Tom studied me, then nodded. I'll check in. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Jillian unpacked. Not much stuff, but quality. Cast iron skillets, Le Creuset pot, good knives. You really do cook. Sunday dinner's on me. Hemingway the orange tabby emerged from his carrier, explored, then jumped on my lap purring. He doesn't usually warm up that fast, Jillian said. For lunch, she made grilled cheese and tomato soup. Homemade. We talked. Real conversation. Her vet nursing, my software work. No drama. That evening, she made carbonara. We ate, watched Netflix, Hemingway between us. This is nice, she said. Normal. Same. The loft felt different. Not occupied. Inhabited. Kelsey had consumed space. Jillian was making a home. Tuesday morning marked exactly 1 week since Kelsey had left. I woke to the smell of coffee and bacon. Jillian was in the kitchen making breakfast. Morning, she said cheerfully. Made extra. Hope you don't mind. Mind. This is amazing. We ate together, discussing our days. She had a 12-hour shift at the clinic. I had virtual meetings all morning. Easy conversation. Comfortable rhythm. The loft had transformed. Jillian's touches were everywhere now. Fresh flowers on the dining table from the Minneapolis farmers market. The kitchen organized logically for the first time ever. A throw blanket she'd crocheted draped over the couch. Her books mixed with mine on the shelf. Plants on the windowsill, thriving under her care. Hemingway's cat tree in the corner. Everything was clean but lived in. This was what partnership looked like. Shared space. Shared responsibilities. Mutual respect and appreciation. No demands. No complaints. Just 2 people making life easier for each other. At 9:47 a.m., the building intercom buzzed. Mr. Fletcher, the security guard said. There's a Kelsey Brennan here insisting she lives in your unit. She doesn't. She's not authorized to be here. She's quite insistent, sir. Says it's been a week and she's ready to come home. It's not her home. Please ask her to leave. I heard Kelsey's voice in the background. Let me talk to him. Ma'am, please step back, the guard said. Owen, I know you can hear me. Open this door right now. I hung up the intercom. Jillian emerged from the bathroom, towel drying her hair. Everything okay? My ex showed up. Security's handling it. Want me to leave? Go to my room? Why would you do that? This is your home now. I don't want to make things awkward. You're not making anything awkward. She is. Big difference. The doorbell rang. Aggressive knocking followed immediately. Kelsey's voice came through the door. Owen, I know you're in there. We need to talk. More knocking, harder this time. I can hear people inside. Owen. Then a pause, and her voice changed. Sharper. Who else is in there? Jillian and I exchanged looks. Here we go, I said. I approached the door, but didn't open it. What do you want, Kelsey? To come home. To talk about us. There is no us. There's you, who left. And me, who moved on. Moved on? It's been 1 week. Your choice, your timeline. You don't get to decide how I respond to your decisions. Just let me in. Please. I made a mistake. Yes, you did. Several of them. I was emotional. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking clearly enough to pack 2 Louis Vuitton suitcases, take $2,000 from the account, and walk out before dawn. That takes planning. Can you please just open the door? Why would I do that? Because we need to talk face to face. We're talking now. This is ridiculous. This is appropriate. You don't live here anymore. I heard the sound of Jillian moving in the kitchen. Dishes clinking. Is someone else in there? Kelsey's voice went up an octave. That's none of your business. It is my business. That's my apartment. It was never your loft. It's my condo. My name, my mortgage, my equity. Who was in there with you? My roommate. A pause. Your roommate. Yes, I have a roommate now. The second bedroom was sitting empty. You replaced me in a week? I didn't replace you. I found someone to help with expenses. I don't believe you. Let me see. No. Jillian's voice came from the kitchen, loud enough to carry. Owen, do you want coffee? I'm making a fresh pot. The shriek that came from the other side of the door was almost inhuman. There is someone else. You're cheating on me. You can't cheat on someone who dumped you and moved out. I didn't dump you. I needed space. You got it. Permanent space. The crying started. Loud, theatrical sobbing. How could you do this to me? After everything we've been through? After everything we've been through? You mean after 6 years of me supporting you financially while you found yourself? After the third yoga studio job you quit? After 18 months of you contributing $0 to this household? That everything? It wasn't about money. It's never about money until it is. And now you don't have access to mine anymore. And suddenly you want to talk. That's not fair. What's not fair is expecting someone to subsidize your lifestyle while you treat them like an inconvenience. How long have you been seeing her? I met her last Wednesday. Liar. You had this planned. I had nothing planned. You left Tuesday. I needed a roommate. She needed a place. Adults call that problem solving. What's her name? Not your concern. Is she prettier than me? She's happier than you. That's more attractive. You bastard. I think we're done here. I'm not leaving until you let me in. Then you'll be there a while. I'm going back to work. I stepped away from the door. The knocking continued, accompanied by shouting, but I returned to my desk. Jillian brought me coffee, her expression a mix of concern and amusement. She sounds upset, Jillian said quietly. She's upset she can't manipulate me anymore. Want me to talk to her? Absolutely not. You don't negotiate with emotional terrorists. The knocking continued for another 10 minutes, then stopped. I checked the security app on my phone. Kelsey was pacing in the hallway, phone pressed to her ear. Then the elevator. She was gone. Wednesday evening brought the real escalation. At 6:30, the intercom buzzed again. Mr. Fletcher, there are 3 women here to see you. Kelsey Brennan and 2 others claiming to be family. I sighed. I'll be right down. Jillian looked up from her book. Want backup? Thanks, but I've got this. In the lobby, Kelsey stood with 2 women. Her mother, Patricia, late 50s, expensive haircut and designer purse. And her sister, Brooke, late 20s, the kind of Instagram aesthetic that screamed influencer wannabe. Patricia started immediately. Owen, we need to discuss this situation. There's nothing to discuss. My daughter is heartbroken. You've locked her out of her own home. Her home? Is her name on any paperwork? Did she pay any bills? Contribute to any expenses? Brooke cut in. That's not the point. That's exactly the point. This is my property. She was a guest. She left. Guests don't have claim to property. Patricia's voice took on a soothing quality, like she was talking to a child. She made a mistake. People make mistakes. She made a choice. Packing 2 suitcases and leaving before dawn isn't a mistake. It's a decision. Kelsey jumped in. I told you he's being unreasonable. I turned to her directly. Was I unreasonable when I paid all the bills? Bought your car? Covered your credit cards? Funded your finding yourself adventures? Patricia stiffened. Money isn't everything, Owen. You're right. Respect is more important. Where was Kelsey's respect when she walked out without a conversation? Brooke's voice went up. She was emotional. She was entitled. There's a difference. Patricia tried again. This is salvageable. Couples work through things. You just need to let her come home so you can talk properly. I don't want to work through it. I want to move forward. Kelsey's voice cracked. With her, you mean? Patricia looked confused. Her? He has another woman living in my apartment. Kelsey said. Is this true? Patricia asked me. I have a roommate. The loft is mine. I can have whoever I want living there. Brooke's eyes went wide. Oh my God, you're sleeping with her already? That's none of your business. His. Kelsey said triumphantly. I knew it. I have a roommate who pays rent, contributes to the household, and treats the space with respect. That's all you need to know. Patricia's veneer cracked slightly. This is moving very fast, Owen. It's only been a week. Kelsey moved on even faster. She had somewhere to go before she left. I paused. Where did you go that morning, Kelsey? Straight to a friend's house? Which friend? The one you were with until 1 a.m. all those nights. All 3 women reacted, but Kelsey's face gave her away. I was staying with Brooke. She stammered. Brooke looked genuinely surprised. You told me you were staying with Nicole. Kelsey looked trapped. I stayed different places. Interesting, I said. Patricia recovered quickly. Regardless of the past, We're here to find a solution. Kelsey wants to come home. It's not her home to come back to. What would it take? For you to forgive her? It's not about forgiveness. It's about moving forward with someone who wants to be there. I do want to be there. Kelsey insisted. You wanted to leave. You did. I respect your choice. Now respect mine. The elevator dinged behind us. Jillian stepped out, returning from a walk. She was carrying Hemingway in his carrier. She stopped when she saw the group of us, clearly sensing the tension. Kelsey pointed at her. That's her. That's the woman who stole my life. Jillian looked genuinely confused. I'm sorry. Jillian, these are some people leaving, I said calmly. Don't worry about it. Kelsey rushed toward her, and I stepped between them instantly. Kelsey, stop. Patricia held her arm out. Let's all calm down. Jillian started toward the elevator. I'm just going to. But Kelsey called after her. You can have him. He's controlling and cold, and you'll see. Jillian turned back, and her voice was steady. He's been nothing but respectful and kind. Maybe the problem wasn't him. The elevator doors closed behind her. The silence in the lobby was absolute. We're done here, I said. Don't come back. I turned toward the elevator. Owen, wait, Patricia started. No. Kelsey made her choice. I made mine. She wanted her life. She's got it. All of it. Without me, without my support, without my loft. That's what independence looks like. The elevator arrived. I stepped in. You'll regret this. Kelsey shouted. I already regret 6 years, I said. I'm not adding to it. The doors closed. Upstairs, I found Jillian in her room, door open, sitting on her bed with Hemingway in her lap. I knocked on the doorframe. You okay? She looked up. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to make things worse. You didn't make anything worse. She did that herself. She seems really upset. She's upset she can't manipulate the situation anymore. Jillian was quiet for a moment. What she said about stealing her life. You didn't steal anything. She threw it away. Maybe I should find somewhere else. This is complicated. Don't you dare. This is your home. You have a lease. We never signed anything. We have an agreement. That's enough. Unless you want to leave? No. God, no. This place is perfect. You're a great roommate. I just don't want to be the reason for drama. You're not the reason. She is. And the drama ends now. How? I'm getting a restraining order tomorrow if she shows up again. Really? She approached you aggressively. That's harassment. I'm documenting everything. Hemingway jumped from Jillian's lap to mine, purring loudly. Listen, I said. These last few days? This is what normal looks like. What I had before. That was chaos masquerading as a relationship. I'm not going back to chaos. Jillian smiled slightly. What did I do to deserve such a good roommate? You appreciated what you have instead of demanding more. Low bar, apparently, but you cleared it easily. That evening, we made dinner together. Jillian's pasta recipe, my salad. We worked in comfortable rhythm in the kitchen, moving around each other like we'd been doing it for years instead of days. We ate while watching the news, Hemingway curled up between us on the couch. This was peace. Over the next few days, Kelsey's emails became increasingly desperate. They started arriving Thursday morning. 2 a.m. I can't sleep. I keep thinking about us. Remember when we first met at that coffee shop in Uptown? You said I was the most interesting person you'd ever met. Was that a lie? 10 a.m. My mom thinks I should fight for us. She's willing to help with a lawyer if needed. I don't want it to come to that. 4 p.m. I saw a couple today that looked like us. Made me cry. I miss what we had. 9 p.m. Is she really better than me? What does she have that I don't? Friday morning, 7 a.m. I'm willing to work on myself. I'll go to counseling. I'll get a real job. Just give me another chance. 2 p.m. This is your last chance to make this right. After this, I'm done trying. I read each one. Deleted each one. Responded to none. Jillian noticed me deleting an email Friday afternoon. She's still reaching out? Last gasps. She's cycling through every manipulation tactic in the book. Not responding is probably driving her crazy. That's the point. I'm not playing the game anymore. Friday evening, Jillian and I found ourselves on the balcony, watching the sunset over the Mississippi River. The sky was orange and pink, reflected in the water below. Can I ask you something personal? Jillian said. Shoot. Do you miss her at all? I considered the question honestly. I miss who I thought she was. I don't miss who she actually is. That's a good distinction. What about you? Miss your ex? Not even a little. I miss the idea of marriage, maybe, but not him specifically. How long were you married? 4 years. Together 6 total. He cheated the whole last year. I'm sorry. I'm not. Not anymore. It taught me what I don't want. What do you want? She looked out at the river. This, honestly. Peace. Respect. Someone who shows up, does their part, doesn't make everything complicated. That's what you're getting here. Partnership, not ownership. Is that what it was with her? Ownership? She wanted all the benefits of a relationship without any of the responsibilities. Wanted to be taken care of while claiming independence. Wanted support without contribution. Sounds exhausting. It was. I just didn't realize it until it stopped. Hemingway appeared on the balcony, meowing for dinner. Jillian went inside to feed him. I stayed outside, thinking. Just over a week. That's all it took to realize what I'd been missing. Mutual respect. Shared responsibility. Comfortable silence. Genuine appreciation. Kelsey thought she was irreplaceable. Turns out, she was just unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. Saturday morning brought one final email from Kelsey. Subject, goodbye. Owen, I've spent the last week trying to understand what happened. Trying to figure out where I went wrong. But I've realized I didn't go wrong. You did. You're so focused on money and contributions and who paid for what. You've missed the entire point of love. Love isn't a transaction. It's not about keeping score. I gave you 6 years of my life. I supported you emotionally. I made our home beautiful. I made you look good to your friends and family. That has value, even if it doesn't show up in a bank account. But you can't see that. All you see is dollars and cents. You're so obsessed with being right that you can't see you're throwing away something real. I hope she's worth it. I hope your new roommate fills whatever hole you think I left. But when you realize what you've lost, don't come looking for me. I deserve someone who values me for who I am, not what I contribute financially. I'm done fighting for someone who doesn't see my worth. Goodbye, Owen. P.S. I'm keeping the car. Consider it payment for 6 years of emotional labor. I read it twice, then showed it to Jillian over coffee. Wow, she said. She really thinks she's the victim here. Always did. Are you going to respond? Yes. Once. To close the door permanently. I typed my response. Kelsey, you're right about one thing. Love isn't a transaction. But partnership is. And we weren't partners. Partnership means both people contribute. Both people show up. Both people make the other's life better, not just easier for themselves. You gave 6 years. So did I? The difference is what we gave. I gave financial support, emotional support, a home, security, and endless patience with your finding yourself journey. You gave criticism, complaints, demands, and an expectation that I existed to serve your needs. The car. Report it stolen by Monday or return it. Your choice. But emotional labor isn't a legal claim to property you didn't purchase. Don't contact me again. Owen. I sent it, then blocked her email address. Feel good? Jillian asked. Feel free. 2 weeks later, life had settled into a comfortable routine. Sunday mornings meant Jillian made French toast while I brewed coffee. We developed a system. She cooked breakfast on weekends. I handled coffee and cleanup. We alternated dinner during the week. Shared grocery shopping on Thursdays. She did laundry Saturdays, I did Sundays. Hemingway had established his favorite nap spots throughout the loft. The loft had transformed completely. Jillian's photography prints hung on the walls. She was a hobby photographer, and her work was actually good. The bookshelf was organized by genre, a mix of both our collections. The kitchen had both our cookware, and all of it was actually used. Plants thrived on the windowsills under her care. The place felt lived in, comfortable, like a real home. We'd fallen into an easy friendship. Movie nights where we alternated picks. She liked documentaries, I liked sci-fi. Cooking experiments where she taught me techniques I'd never known. Coffee on the balcony most mornings before work. Comfortable silence while we both worked from home. Hemingway served as comic relief and occasional mediator when we disagreed, which was rare. Tom, Jillian's brother, visited one Sunday. I have to admit, he said, looking around. I was skeptical about this arrangement. And now? I asked. Now I'm wondering why everyone doesn't do it this way. You two have a better setup than most married couples I know. It's called mutual respect, Jillian said. Novel concept. Jilly seems happy. That's all that matters to me. She's a great roommate, I said. You're a good guy, Owen. I'm glad she found this place. After Tom left, Jillian turned to me. He likes you. That's rare. He's protective. I respect that. Can I ask you something? Always. She hesitated. Do you ever think about, we get along really well. I understood what she was asking. Are you asking if I've thought about us as more than roommates? I guess I am. Honest answer? Yes. But I also think what we have works because there's no pressure. No expectations beyond being good roommates. So you want to keep it as is? I want to let it be whatever it becomes naturally. No rushing, no pressure. Just let it develop if it's going to. That's probably the healthiest thing I've ever heard in a relationship conversation. We both just got out of situations where people rush things or force things. Maybe the answer is to just not. Friends who live together and might become more someday, or might stay friends who are great roommates. Either way, we win. She smiled. I can live with that. 1 month after Kelsey left, the loose ends tied themselves up. She returned the Audi to the dealership Monday morning, leaving the keys with the receptionist without a note. I got the notification, sold the car back to the dealer, paid off the remaining loan, and pocketed the difference. I used some of it to buy myself a used pickup truck, something I'd actually wanted. Kelsey never picked up her belongings from storage. After 30 days, I donated everything to Ark's Value Village on East Lake Street. The throw pillows, the manifestation journals, all of it. Someone else could use them. It felt liberating, not vindictive. Financially, life without Kelsey was remarkably better. My savings increased $1,200 a month. No random credit card charges. Groceries cost less without her expensive wellness products. Utilities were lower without the AC running constantly. With Jillian's $800 rent contribution, I was actually ahead. I could save for actual goals instead of just treading water. Life quality had improved in ways I hadn't anticipated. The loft stayed clean because Jillian cleaned as she went. We had actual home-cooked meals regularly. Conversations about real topics, not just complaints. No drama, no manipulation, no walking on eggshells. Hemingway provided comedy and companionship. Sunday meal prep had become my favorite routine. We'd started going to jazz concerts downtown. Jillian actually liked jazz. 1 month in, I sat on the balcony alone one evening, reflecting. I thought I'd lost something when Kelsey left. Turns out, I'd lost something 6 years ago when I met her. I'd lost myself trying to make her happy, trying to be enough for someone who would never think anyone was enough. Jillian didn't replace Kelsey. She reminded me what normal looked like, what mutual respect felt like, what it meant to have someone appreciate you instead of tolerate you. The best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's building a better life and not looking back. 6 weeks after Kelsey left, Jillian and I went to Spy House Coffee in Uptown on a Saturday morning. The place Kelsey used to claim as ours. We sat by the window, reading newspapers, sharing the arts section. Comfortable silence. Occasional comments about articles. Hemingway was home, probably napping on my bed. I was reading about an upcoming gallery opening when I felt eyes on me. I looked up. Kelsey stood by the counter. She'd just ordered and turned around to find a seat. She froze when she saw us. We locked eyes for a brief moment. Her face cycled through emotions. Shock, anger, hurt, then something like realization. I nodded. Polite, not friendly. Then returned to my newspaper. She stood there, waiting for something. For me to call her over, to introduce Jillian, to acknowledge her presence beyond that single nod. I didn't look up again. Jillian had been reading the comics, but I saw her glance toward the counter. She stiffened slightly. Kelsey left without her coffee. I watched her go in my peripheral vision. That was her, wasn't it? Jillian asked quietly. Your ex? Yeah, I said. She looks different than I remember. From the lobby that day. 6 weeks can do that. Jillian studied my face. You okay? I'm perfect, I said and meant it. She smiled and went back to reading. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Kelsey must have gotten a new phone. I hope you're happy. I typed back 2 words. I am. I blocked the number, put my phone away, and went back to my newspaper. Jillian looked over at me. Everything okay? Everything's perfect. She smiled and went back to reading. We finished our coffee, walked home through Uptown together, back to our loft, our home, our life. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.